y'all, I'm Krystal and welcome back to my Texas garden. Today, we are going to be putting some pre-germinated seeds into some soil. Now, if you're new around here, welcome. And if you're all about gardening naturally, well, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to smash the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. So a few days back, I started a bunch of seeds using the paper towel method. And if y'all missed that video, I'll go ahead and link it for you right up here. So using the paper towel method, I started peppers, tomatoes, beans, kale, and what you didn't see, papaya seeds. I'm so excited about the papaya seeds. Now we're gonna check on all of the seeds and see where they're at in the germination process. Now over the weekend, I did start planting some of the bean seeds because they were just growing super fast. And I continued planting bean seeds yesterday. And I did film that. So let's head out to the garden and see how I planted those pre-germinated bean seeds. All right, these are a couple that I planted the other day. And this is a royalty purple potted bean. And this is my one and only scarlet runner bean. All right, so I had the chickens break into the garden earlier because someone broke my gate and didn't fix it, so the chickens were able to get in and do some damage. This is not the only damage they did, but it's probably some of the most painful damage. All right, so we have this one is totally topside. This one's trying to poke through. All right, let's head down a little bit further. I don't see anything. Don't see anything. Ducks playing in the water. Okay. I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, I see a weed. Let's get that on out of there. All right. In this section, these are all Roma beans, which are the Italian flat beans. And I'm super excited to try those. All right, still looking. I think the first beans that we had, those were the first ones to pop up. The purple potted or royalty purple potted bean. Those were the first to pop up. The other damage that the chickens did was they took out some of my seedling. This was a squash, zucchini. As a yellow squash that the chickens took out. And I don't know if I'm going to take this out yet because see right there, and right there, that looks like some leaves. So I'm going to leave that and see if that recovers. This one I don't think has a chance. They really chomp that good. Which is odd because they don't normally go for squash. You see this right here? This is dog vomit mold. And this is part of the decomposing process of all of the leaves. And this is wood chips and hay. So it's part of that decomposing process. So I don't worry about it. It does spread really easy. So if you try to remove it from your garden, those spores will move and you'll probably get it in other parts of your garden. No, it's not the most attractive of the molds or funguses that you can get in your garden, but it is part of the process. So I just leave it alone. All right, so here are the beans that we're going to be transplanting today. We're going to continue transplanting our wax beans. I did show y'all the section that the wax beans were in, but I failed to say this is where the wax beans are. So let's take a look at those. All right, so this is what the beans look like now, okay? If you look at it from the underneath, they kind of look like spiders. Kind of look like little spiders sitting there. So we're actually going to separate them out. This is why you really don't want to let them sit for too long because they start to get tangled up and you don't want to cause any damage to the roots. So yeah, looks like a spider or something from the bottom of the ocean. Before these dry out, we need to go ahead and get them in the ground. I'm gonna grab some water real quick, be right back. All right, so what I've done is I've dug a little hole. It's about 2 inches down. Now I'm just gonna fill it up with some water. Once the water drains out, then we can start adding our beans in there. the roots. And hopefully you can tell here. The roots, what you want to do is you want to put this roots down like that. So like the little spider legs down. The leaf of the bean will grow out from here and it'll grow straight up. Honestly, I suppose you can just toss it in there and it'll grow. But we're just kind of like giving this a head start. We've already helped it along so much already. So this is like the little spider part I'm calling here. And we're just gonna put that gently, face down, little legs down, like that. And just make sure that they're touching that nice damp soil. And all we do now is cover them up. Normally when you see me plant seeds, I'll come in and I'll pat them down really hard. I'm not going to do that here. The reason why is because those beans are already germinating, or they're already germinated, and I don't want to damage the roots. I don't want to damage any part of that. So we're going to be gentler than we normally would be. Make sure they are buried at least 1 inch deep. Now we're going to come in again and water again, real gently. And this water came from my 1/4 acre pond that you just saw the ducks playing in. Okay, so I think we had an issue with the camera malfunctioning just now. These are Cherokee Trail of Tear beans. And these pole beans grew a lot faster than our bush beans, which that's what the wax bean is. These should have been planted probably 2 days ago when they still looked like this, okay? I have also put some water in here just because the last group of beans, their roots started to really kind of dry out with all the talking and moving the camera around. So we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to do. I've already pre-dug 3 holes here. So we're going to show you on the first 3, and then I'm just going to quickly get the rest of them into the ground. So what I'm going to do is I need to dig a hole big enough to accommodate all this root, probably right at about 3 inches. I'm going to bury the seedling right up to the bean head, where the leaves are going to come out. Then I'm going to take some old decomposed hay, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and put it on top so they can emerge from there. Just going to dig these holes out just a little bit deeper. You can always come in and backfill if you've dug a hole too deep. Now I've already put water in here, so I can skip that step, and we're going to take our seedling and we're just going to bury it, and I have dug this hole too deep. We're just going to put it right in here. Make sure that the roots are making a good connection to that soil, that nice damp soil. Hold it up just a little bit and bury it right up to the neck there of your seedling. I'm just going to really gently hold it by the head there. And I dug, again, this one too deep. That's okay, we just backfill it. Make sure the roots are making good connection with all that nice damp soil. And start backfilling your little hole here. Add our hay, and we're just going to put it on top just like this. Nice and light. I'm not going to press it down, and we're going to water again. So this is the last of the beans, and this is going to be a rattlesnake pole bean. And you can see the bag is really blown up here, like a little balloon. All right, pull this out of here. And as we open it up, whoa, some of these beans really and truly took off. Wow. Okay, so let's get some water on those roots. And so now I'm just going to very gently separate these out. You don't want to hurt the roots too much, and just make sure that they stay moist. And they're really grown into this paper towel. Wow, these should have been done a couple of days ago. So, pole beans, about 4 days, and bush beans, about 6 days. But some of them have just taken off like crazy, while others, not so much. And I'm not too sure why. Maybe some just grew faster, I suppose. And I find that if you keep the paper towel really wet like this, right at the end, it makes separating them out really, really easy. I'm going to go ahead and get all of these planted up really quick before the roots dry out. Okay, we're back on the porch where it's not nearly as windy as it is out there. Yesterday the winds were crazy. We have a cold front coming through yet again. It seems like we always get a little bit of a cold front right before Easter. And sure enough, Easter is this Sunday. Oh, hey Maggie. And here we go. We've got a cold front coming through. So we're gonna start with the kale. And you're probably wondering why the kale is in a plastic tub. Now, all of my seeds started out in baggies like this. And last night I opened up the bag with the kale in it. And you know those pop-up books, you know, when you open them up and everything pops up and you've got a whole village and things like that? That's what happened with the kale. So once I opened it, everything was standing up like this. The kale, I think I really, really messed up on. The kale is really intertwined with the paper towel. The kale probably should have been transplanted into soil on day 2. I did check the kale seeds on day 2 and they were already nice and sprouted. They were actually sprouting within 24 hours. And by day 2, they honestly should have been put into some soil. Right now, it's very hard. It's not like beans. You know, the beans we were able to separate from the paper towel. These are just so tiny that it's very hard to separate without damaging the little seedling. So it was a success, as you can see, but getting it transplanted is going to be a failure. Now you can see here that I was able to separate some, but I lost just as many as I was able to separate because they're just too tiny and just really woven into the paper towel, as you can see here. You see that root system? Now, if I wanted to, I could probably take this paper towel and put it into some soil and throw some soil on top. And it would probably grow like that. But honestly, that's probably going to be more of a pain than it's worth. So what we're going to do is we're just going to feed the chickens these greens, and I've got lots of kale seeds. So I'm just going to start some new kale seeds and then transplant them. And I'll probably do that as a short video rather than a full length video. So yeah, because of me, this was a failure. But as you can see, we've got really great germination. It's hard to tell, but it looks pretty close to 100%. I mean, it's really great germination. It's just that I waited too long for them. All right, so let's take a look at some of these. Now, this one is papaya seeds. This one, you guys did not see. I had it stashed away. I actually started these almost 2 weeks ago now. Or actually, no, I'm lying to you. A little over 2 weeks, so it's closer to 3 weeks. Papaya seeds take a very long time to germinate. All right, so this variety of papaya is called cactum, and it's a very long and skinny papaya. Now, the packet of seeds said it was 80% germination rate, and as you can see right here, out of 3 seeds, see right here, see this little guy right here, hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. See that? It's a little root forming. So yeah, super, super excited about that. Now, this cactum papaya is a favorite for the green spicy papaya salad. And it's actually very hard to get over here. So you can understand why I'm super excited about that. All right, so let's check on some Thai chili peppers. These did not germinate in my garden at all. And over the years, I've had issues with them germinating. They're just very, very finicky. So, oh my gosh. Okay, hello. Hello. Look at that, y'all. All right, so we've got a little root right there. We've got a root right there. We've got a root right there. And one right there, and one right there. One right there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got about 60% germination rate. These are seeds that I saved from my garden from 2018. These, I think, we're going to be transplanting in a couple of days. 2 days maximum. The others that haven't germinated yet, they don't look bad. So we're going to give them a little bit more time. I'm not going to write them off yet, but yeah, we've got 6 really good viable seeds right out of the pack. Super excited. We've got a fatnali, I think that's how it's pronounced, pepper. And so let's take a look at this one. This one I can see some poking through. I can see something going on. They seem to be more advanced than the Thai chili peppers. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we have 5 seeds here, and we've got 3 that have fully germinated. This one right here is burying itself into the paper towel. This one, you can see the root there. I think that's roots right there. Hold on, let me take a closer look. Nope, that's not. That's fuzz. I gotta be careful, that might mold. So we've got 1, 2, 3 out of 5 that have germinated. So pretty good germination rate. I'm not hating it. So yeah, definitely the next couple of days, this will go into some soil. All right, here is the Peter pepper. If you don't know what Peter pepper is, Google it. Oh my God, 100% germination rate. 100%. Look at that. Everything's got roots. It's actually looking really nice. You know what, guys? I think this one probably needs to go into some soil today. Yeah, that's looking really good. This one, I don't know if you can tell. Let's see if I could flip it over. Look at that. Can you see that? See that root? It's extended all up underneath there, and this root is popping out here. I am going to put this into some potting soil today. All right, let's take a look at some tomatoes. And this is a Pantano Romanesco. It's an Italian variety, and it's supposed to be good for sauce and slicing alike. All right, so this one, I can already tell you, looking at it, you can already see the roots. You can already see roots. See roots. Roots. This one probably needs to go into some soil today too. Oh, wow. Hello, see how that popped up? And see how they pop up? I told you. Yeah. Okay. Tomatoes have to go into some potting soil today. Look at that thing. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, as always, pre-moisten our soil. All right, so we're just gonna start with the red cherry. We're just gonna take this seedling, and it came off the paper towel all in one piece very nicely. And we're going to kind of put it onto the soil and then sort of like press that in just a little bit, okay? So it gets good plant to soil connection. I'm going to do all of those, and just I'm very gently going to be removing these from the paper towel. It just came out just like that. Now I am just starting all these in the same pot. Tomatoes and peppers, they transplant just fine even if we have to separate them. This one right here is so badly intertwined with the paper towel. If I go and try to take it off the paper towel, just like the other one, it's going to break. So we're just gonna leave it in the paper towel. It'll grow right through it. It'll be perfectly fine. And we're gonna cover this with soil. I am not going to press down like I normally would. And like I said earlier, these are a little further along than I actually want, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, so I have this cat. His name is Siege, for obvious reasons, and he has a bad habit of sitting in pots. And I should have done this. I should have put the forks in before I put soil on it. So hopefully I didn't mess anything up. But I want to, if you guys have cats and you want to keep them out of your potted plants, using forks is a really good way of doing that. And our Peter pepper is exactly where we want it. It's not overly germinated. You don't have to worry about standing it up. You don't have to worry about the leaves. So this is where you really want to be when you're transplanting. I'm gonna go ahead and soak this paper towel down. I've got a pair of tweezers as well. For these small seeds. And just like that, we're just gonna lay it down just like that. Okay, so I have my old mini blind, and we're just going to cut our labels. So I'm going to continue going through my seeds here, and I'm going to continue planting them out into pots and labeling them, and hopefully within a week we'll have some visual progress from the soil. To see more great gardening videos just like this one, go ahead and click right here and I'll meet y'all over there.